Let's talk about a pre and post Civil War movement of Afro-Creole men called Cercle Harmonique, or the Harmonic Circle, and they practiced spiritualism. Now, spiritualism started around 1848 in Hydesville, New York, when two young girls claimed to speak with the dead. From there, it spread fast through the US, England, and France. After the Civil War, when loss was basically everywhere, seances became a comfort and a movement. Circle Harmonique's most active years lined up with that era during Reconstruction. So, who were they? They were free, mixed race Afro Creole men with Afro Caribbean roots. They were Catholic educated, economically stable for their time, and politically engaged. Their main leader was Henry Louis Ray, a veteran of the Louisiana Native Guard who later served in the Louisiana House of Representatives. Ray learned from Sister Louise, whose last name is unknown, and from J.B. Valmore, a black Creole blacksmith and healer. When Valmore died in 1869, he returned to the table as a spirit guide. The secondary leader, Francois Duclé, shared Ray's background. Now, both men came from mixed race families that had enslaved people, which makes their later push for black rights even more striking. Now, the structure was simple. A few members served as mediums while others supported. Each meeting began by reading earlier messages to build harmony around the table. That harmony was the doorway. They met multiple times a week, recorded everything, and by the time they stopped in 1877, they had thousands of pages of spirit communications. The records were kept by Rene Grandjean, Henry's father-in-law, who was also in the circle, and today those documents actually are in a special collection, the University of New Orleans' Earl K. Long Library. Now, who came through? Be family, friends, but also a wild global roll call. Napoleon, abolitionist John Brown, Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln. Pocahontas, Jesus, St. Vincent de Paul, Confucius, and Toussaint Louverture. Most messages were in French with some in English, which kind of tells you that the circle and the spirit world functioned across languages. Now, these spirits kept returning to something called the idea, and this was equality, humanitarian progress, harmony, according to the messages. God intended the idea to rule the living, but human greed blocked it. The job of the circle was to push back and to make the material world resemble the egalitarian spirit world they admired. In other words, the religion was political on purpose. But as we know, history pushed back hard. Reconstruction only lasted from 1865 to 1877, and what promised liberty and democracy was actually soaked in violence. In New Orleans alone, there was the 1866 Mechanics Institute massacre, also called the New Orleans Race Riot, and in 1874, the Battle of Liberty Place, when white supremacist paramilitaries attacked black New Orleanians and their rights. The spirits lamented the slaughter, and some of the dead even returned, urging the circle to continue the work. But after Liberty Place, the circle began to fall apart, and Grandjean's notes say members were afraid to meet. There was also deep disappointment that the spirits' promised progress was not materializing. In November 1877, as Reconstruction officially ended and opponents of black equality retook power, a final message arrived to Ray from an unnamed friend. Have confidence in the future. The nation had failed its Southern promises, and for the circle, the end date felt like the end of possibility. But as we know, you had to go through Jim Crow and several other things before the civil rights movement. I would say that they had great intentions, and this is a great little quip in history to know about. So tell me, have you guys ever heard of them? And what do you think about this? I think it's good to hear people, again, especially black people of means, using their powers for good. Let me know what you think in the comments.